Today we're going to take a look at CCH Axcess Practice. CCH Axcess Practice is the time and billing component of the CCH Axcess platform. It's made up of the lime green icons, which is time capture, billing and invoicing, accounts receivables, and the majority of the reports in the Reports Manager are Axcess Practice related because that's where productivity, profitability, realization, reconciliation, and many more financial reports come from. So let's get started. When we start talking about time entry, one of the real clever things about the Axcess platform is time entry typically will come to the user to promote more and more accurate time capture. So should the user be in a workstream route sheet, within that route sheet they can enter time right there without necessarily going to a time entry screen. Should they be in a workstream view of projects, they can enter time. Maybe they're within a project itself. Right-click, they can enter time for that specific project. Another one is if they're in a tax return. They work away on that return. When they exit the return, the system will actually fill in a timesheet entry, pop it in front of the user and say, hey, is this right? Do you need this on your timesheet? Promoting, again, not missing or not forgetting getting that time onto their timesheet. And one other, being able to key time in from a mobile app. Your timesheet's always in your pocket, no excuses. They can key it in here just like they were in the office. So getting time in has never been easier. As far as the full time entry screen, that would look just like this. It's the conventional line entry approach, if you will. And you'll also notice that both Axcess Practice and Workstream, should you have both products, fluidly come together in this line entry approach. It knows who I am. I can key in my client, my project, my work step, my activity, and more, and just fill in that next natural line item on my timesheet. We key in both billable, non-billable, and expenses through the same screen. Another thing that we can do from this screen is to create views of time that has been entered. So if you have permissions to see other people's time, you may create a view so you can see the accumulation of time that other staff have been entering. So I could see Elliot as an example here. I can expand that to see specifically what clients has Elliot been working on, what services he's been providing, and what time he's been spending on them. Perhaps you may want to create a view grouped by client so you can see your favorite client, ABC Company, and who in the firm's been working on that client recently and what time they've been keying and what activities for that client. You may create these views for a weekly period, bi-weekly, commonly is by pay period, how you want to see and just digest that time. Of course, up at the top, we can review our month-to-date hours. We can bank hours for later consumption, and we can track CPE credits as well, all part of CCH Axcess Practice time entry. One other thing down on the lower left is you can manage clocks, start and stop timers, if you will, and for any type of activity. We saw that occur for the timesheet for the tax return, but you may want to start one for the phone call, so I can instantly start another timer at any point and time how long a phone call takes and record that to my timesheet, again, to get a more accurate time capture. Billing and invoicing clients has never been easier. It starts with a simple three-step process in the upper left corner. Looking at the work in process for a particular client, I can sort that any way I wish, group it any way I wish, depending upon the billing decisions I intend to make. I simply come in and make my decisions. Maybe I want to mark that consulting up, maybe to $5,000, do a markup on that activity and apply that. Perhaps mark down the tax activity and do that as an independent notation. So I can apply those markups and markdowns for my later financial reporting. So that's step one, putting in my billing decisions. Step two, editing the invoice. Now, there is an area for the firm to design your own firm invoicing letterhead any way you would like that to appear, including uploading your firm logo and having us print that as well. So when you're editing an invoice, really you're only concerned about the body of the invoice. And the body of the invoice is being driven by an assigned template over here on the left. Now, Axcess Practice comes with about 25 standard accounting presentation styles, varying levels of detail, varying levels of summary. You can pick and choose and assign those to your clients at will. But if there's something unique that you like, there's also an area to design your own templates and assign those to your clients if you wish as well, such as I did, and assign this to my client. You can have statement portions within your invoice. Perhaps you want aging on your invoice as well. So you can simply click a button and add that in, and then perhaps redecorate, put them in a different order. Once you have the invoice the way you like, step 3 of the 3-step process is to preview what that will look like when your client's holding it, and now it will apply the headers and footers and put it all together with your logo as the client will view it. So we can see what that will look like. But let's pause for a moment. Properly set up with our templates and our letterhead, we could theoretically come in and put in our billing decisions, skip to the right and save that invoice. Next client. Put in our billing decisions for client 2, skip to the right, save that one, client 3, and march through billing quicker than ever. And only if you needed to edit, you could. It's not required, by the way. So we could march through our billing cycle quicker than ever. Let's talk about the delivery of this invoice. Certainly, yes, you can print it ink on paper to your printer for U.S. postage, and out the door it can go. You can email it directly to the recipient of invoices for this particular client. You can have a copy of the invoice dropped into the CCH Axcess document application, should you have that as well, for safekeeping, retention policies, and more. If you have the portal capability, we can drop a copy of the invoice and actually deliver it to the client via the secure portal. In either of the 2 electronic methods, be it portal or email, you can also have a Pay Now functionality within the face of the invoice. That allows your client to click on that, put in their payment information, have that securely come back into the AR ledger for Practice to offset that invoice, and you're getting paid quicker than ever. At the end of the day, after everything is said and done, the area to go to is Reports Manager to be able to see how the firm performed. Within Reports Manager, there are reports firm-wide, there are tax reports and workstream reports, but the majority of them do come from Practice because there's where we'll get our productivity from the staff, our profitability, our realization, reconciliation. You can see a number of reports that are coming from Practice. Each one of these line items is simply the theme of the report, if you will, because within each of these reports are numerous levels of sorting, subtotaling, blocks for inclusion and exclusion of additional data based upon the nature of the report that's being printed. Some of the popular reports are billing worksheets, if you will. Others, staff time analysis to analyze where staff are spending their time. Some of the others, WIP and AR reconciliations, exceedingly popular report. But lots and lots of information to be able to provide to you, the information to be able to grow, manage, and protect your practice. Thank you for watching this video. There are many more features of CCH Axcess Practice that our time today didn't allow for, like automatic notifications, perhaps for staff who didn't key enough time, centralized client inquiry for answering a client's questions, and much more. For more detailed information, please contact your solutions consultant about this or any of the powerful components of CCH Axcess platform.